This video is dedicated to my hairdresser. Hairdressers, you spend all day leaning over clients, slightly flexing at your hips, with your shoulders forward, your arms forward, and your wrists mostly in flexion too. You can imagine that this isn't good for the whole of your posture. But from my conversations with my own hairdresser and other hairdressers that I know, it's usually the wrists, shoulders, the front of the chest, and also the lower back and the upper back where hairdressers are feeling pain related to their work. I know that you work long hours and you work unsocial hours, a bit like yoga teachers. And often that means that you don't feel you have the time to go to a yoga class or an exercise class. So you're in this position and then you're not doing anything to rebalance the body because you just don't feel like you've got the time. You're knackered at the end of the day. So I wanted to share some small, really short things that you can insert into your day to help your body to feel a bit more balanced and to ease some of the pain that you're experiencing. You can do all of these stretches or you can do one or two. Even if you just do one or two a day, your body will be really grateful and you will start to feel the benefits, I promise. So the first thing I'm going to show you is Parvatasana arms. For Parvatasana arms, it's really simple. We interlace the fingers and then we turn the palms away. Once we've turned the palms away, we press the heels of the hands away. Now you can imagine your hands are normally in flexion. So this is a really good way of stretching out your wrists, stretching out your hands and balancing the position that your wrists are most often in. Because your shoulders are most often forward, we don't want to exaggerate that here. So I'm going to ask you to draw your shoulders back and keep your shoulders back as you raise your arms up. So now you're stretching up. I'll move slightly further away from the camera so you can see what I'm doing with my arms. Stretching up, pressing the heels of the hands up. So you can hold this stretch for as long as feels good, maybe just a few seconds, maybe a few seconds more. And if you can also breathe deeply while you're holding the stretch, it will have even more benefits. When you're ready, you can release your arms. Notice how your arms and your hands feel. You might want to give everything a shake out. If all is well and you've got a bit more time, you can do it the other way too. So interlacing the fingers and then shifting the interlace down. So you've got the other little finger at the bottom. Again, same thing, turning the palms away. Draw the upper arm bones back, so shoulders move back before you stretch your arms up. And then again, pressing the hands up to the sky. See if you can flatten your thumbs. When I show people this in class, often people's thumbs and fingers are sort of like this. The more you can flatten out your thumbs and your fingers, the more of a stretch your hands will have here. And then again, when you've had enough, give everything a good shake out. Yoga clock arms. And so for this, we actually need a wall, which is why I'm standing close to a wall. And we're going to stand close to the wall and then take the arm that's closest to the wall. I've got to move back a little bit here so you can see. Take the arm that's closest to the wall, take that hand up the wall. So the palm of the hand is against the wall. Now, without turning your body towards the wall, so you might find it helpful to have your other hand on your hip. See if you can take your arm back. So this will feel like quite a strong stretch, I believe, through the armpit, through the side of the chest, through the side of the arm, through the shoulder. You can stay here. And again, if you breathe slowly in this position, you'll have even more benefits. If you want to and you're able to, you can try taking your hand further back. I'm not going to show you the other side because that would mean I would have to face away from you. Or maybe I will, just in case you're joining in with me and you want to do the other side now and feel that stretch. Exactly the same thing. Hand on the wall, standing relatively close to the wall. And then if you can, you take your hand back. So you can use the wall for a different stretch, different type of stretch, the same type of stretch I say actually, but slightly different muscles stretched. By standing slightly further away from the wall, turning your fingers backwards and then turning away from the wall. So I'm turning my body away to stretch through the wrist, through the forearm, through the shoulder, and through the side of the rib cage. With all these stretches, breathe slowly while you're holding the position. And you will get more benefits from the stretching if you can breathe slowly while you're holding the positions. So that's using the wall, Parvatasana arms. Now for your neck, to stretch the scalings, the muscles here at the front of the neck that often get tight. I'm going to ask you to see if you can find your collarbones with your fingertips. And then on one side, pressing down into your collarbone, just above your collarbone, and holding the skin down and to the side. And then we're going to take our head in the other direction. So this increases the stretch here on the scaling muscles that often get tight. So these stretches, needless to say, are good for all of us. We don't have to be hairstylists, hairdressers to benefit from these stretches. I can feel my neck benefiting right now. And then, of course, doing the other side. And again, just like before, if you can breathe slowly while you're holding the position, so finding my collarbones, drawing down, and then taking my head in the other direction, you'll benefit even more. The final stretch I want to share with you today doesn't involve a wall. I'll move the chair out of the way, actually. It just involves tucking your elbows in with your palms facing the sky. And then as you inhale, got room, then as you inhale, you'll take your hands wide and squeeze the shoulder blades in towards each other, keeping the elbows tucked in. And then as you slowly exhale, narrow the hands. Inhale to widen the hands, keeping the elbows tucked in. Feel the shoulder blades firm onto your back. Exhale to narrow the hands. And you can do this as many times as feels good. See if you can move and breathe slowly. And then towards the end of the repetition, see if you can hold the position. So now I'm going to stay in the position with my hands moving back, my elbows tucked in, and breathe here. Noticing how your breathing feels. I know I said this would be the last one. There's one more thing I want to share with you, and that involves probably sitting down. I think that sitting down will give you just an extra bit of resistance for this stretch. So you might be on your lunch break, you might be on your tea break, but when you are sitting down, sit towards the edge of the chair, take your fingertips towards the back of your head, and then see if you can think of pressing your sternum, your breastbone, forward and up as you take your elbows back. So at the same time as thinking of your breastbone moving forward and up, you can also think about in between your shoulder blades, so your upper back right at the centre there, in between your shoulder blades, think of pressing that in and up. So pressing the place between your shoulder blades, in and up, and moving your sternum up, forward and up, as you take your elbows back. So hopefully you can see that these shapes that we're making, they're doing the opposite of the shape that you're usually in, the shape that you're most often in. And so by practicing these during your day, you're taking some time to balance your body. So this video, it is dedicated to my hairdresser, who you might be able to tell I went to see yesterday. There's no way I could get my hair to look like this. Thank you, Lauren, at the Salon Experience in Sidcup. I hope you and all the other hairdressers and hairstylists find this really useful, and it helps to reduce pain and balance your body.